our experience being here for 2 weeks so far, there are some things that I'll tell you that you should probably know before you come here. And that is, one, credit cards are pretty friendly here. Credit, debit, whatever, they're accepted in most places. Well, it's been a while since we filmed anything. Now, today is, what day is it? I gotta look on the watch. It is August 26th, and we are in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. We've been here now for 2 weeks on the dot, and unfortunately, we haven't filmed anything because of some reasons. Now, where we are staying in Medellin is a really good area. It's called Laureles. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it's known to be one of the most safest areas, I guess, for foreigners, tourists like us, and just people that want to actually live here as expats in general. Now, I hope you can hear me. This is the GoPro that we're using, and there is no mic on there, so there's going to be a lot of noise probably. But it's just not so safe to really walk around with a bigger camera. So that's why I am using the GoPro. Now, there are many popular areas here in Medellin that you can stay. One being where we are, Laureles, like I just said. Another one being Poblado, which is another very popular tourist area. Then there's some areas like Envigado, Medellin, and a few others to name. But today we just went to a cafe. We had some iced coffee, a bite to eat, and we're headed back to the apartment to get some work done. And I'm just kind of rambling, but the whole point of coming onto the camera is to tell you where we've been, what we've been doing, and why we haven't really filmed any new videos. So over the past 2 weeks, it's been okay. We've enjoyed some local food and, you know, just hanging out around here. First few days were rough because we didn't receive our luggage like you've seen in the last video. We did get our luggage after about 24 hours, so that was great. And we did receive some compensation from the airline, which is also great, as long as we can use that airline again in the future. And then after that, we kind of just chilled out and didn't do much. Just trying to figure out how it is here in Medellin. We got SIM cards, and we tried to get some transportation passes, which didn't really work too well, but we did end up getting them. And she's been working a lot, and I was editing all the rest of the videos from Costa Rica, as I was a little bit behind. I think I had like 7 videos that I was behind on. And now, as you are watching in this video, all the videos from Costa Rica are done, and it's time to make some videos here in Colombia while we are still here and we have some time left. Now I have to be careful because I don't want anyone to steal the camera, but yeah, some things have happened here. We went out, we did some dancing at a discoteca with some local Colombians that we know, and we stayed out really late. We had a few drinks, we got in a taxi, and I left a few belongings in the taxi, including my jacket and my wallet. So unfortunately I don't have those, so it's been a little rough for the past week. And we haven't done much because I don't really have access to a lot of funds. I still have my phone, which is good. Right, well, hopefully it's a little bit quieter over here. We are actually near our apartment building. We're staying right by some local cafes that it's pretty nice and pretty quiet. All right, well, we just got back into the apartment building. I think we're gonna rest for a little bit, get some work done. And then what I actually wanted to do today maybe is kind of show you around this area of Medellin, the Laureles area, as it is more safe, and see, so you can see for yourself what it is like as a foreigner, and you can, you know, look at the video and observe the surroundings and decide for yourself if you think it is safe or not. Also, I will point out some things that I've learned about Medellin during my time here, things I read online, and just ways to stay safe. I'm out of breath from coming up all these stairs, but it's super loud outside because of the motorbikes and the cars and the car shops and everything and the construction. But yeah, get some work done, chill out, eat, and we'll see you in a bit. Left the house after hanging out and chilling for a little while. Got some work done and whatnot. Now we are walking down the main street here where there's restaurants, bars, clubs, places to hang out and gather. And we're headed to the grocery store. So I'll show you what the streets look like on the way there. And you can see for yourself, this is what Medellin looks like. Or at least a part of it. I did mention that we had some hiccups, like something bad happened and I lost my wallet in one of these taxis. Here's a tip for anybody that comes to Medellin or Colombia in a whole, as it's pretty much similar in most of the big cities. But here are the taxis, and they all have a plaque on them, which is like a license plate number. It's on the door, it's on the roof, and it's also on the normal license plate on the trunk. So it's in about 4 places. And then there's also a word that says Servicio Público, so it's saying public taxi, and then next to that word is usually the company name. So if you take a taxi for any reason, make sure you have the company name written down, or you remember it, or the plaque number, because if you lose anything, you can always get it back by calling the number and reporting the plaque number. That's the best way to do it. And if you don't have the plaque number or the company name, they can't really find the driver who drove you and what time it was, and then you're most likely probably not going to get your stuff back, like me. It's been almost a week and I don't think I'm getting it back. So that's a tip for you if you come to Medellin or any bigger city like Bogota or maybe Cartagena. So if you can't tell, traffic here in Medellin is just ridiculous. Usually all times of the day traffic is wild, but during rush hour in the morning and the afternoon, it's even worse. It's hard to cross the street. A lot of motorcycles and mopeds just weaving in and out of traffic, so you got to be very careful. Puerto San Joaquin. Exactly big this area is, Laureles, but There are some nice places you can live, some nice apartment buildings, some nice like condominiums, I guess you would say, here with the private driveways and garage underneath the building. Seems like a nice place to live. Full time. Also here you'll see a lot of people walking their dogs. It's definitely a dog-friendly city, and there's not as many stray dogs from the areas I've been in. You don't really see them, so that's nice. The city's pretty clean overall on the outside of the actual center. Now if you go into the center of the city, El Centro, it's quite dangerous, very crowded, very dirty, and just not the best place to be as a foreigner. So you really have to know what you're doing there. And we did go down there, and it was sketchy, but we didn't bring cameras or anything. So from our experience being here for 2 weeks so far, there are some things that I'll tell you that you should probably know before you come here. And that is, one, credit cards are pretty friendly here. Credit, debit, whatever, they're accepted in most places. Obviously cash goes a long way, but you definitely want to use cash for the street vendors. Two, it can be quite dangerous in areas for foreigners, so don't dress too foreign, don't bring out your flip-flops. You can wear shorts, it's fine, but most Colombians, I guess, don't really wear shorts and pants. They only wear pants. Don't flash your flashy cameras and stuff, because most people don't have that here, and there are a lot of issues of people on motorbikes just stealing them out of people's hands. Definitely try to use some Spanish, or at least practice some Spanish before you come here, because it will go a long way, as English isn't very common and you really won't find it in too many places, other than places that are really popular among foreigners, I guess. Other things we read online are, another thing, do not really mention Pablo Escobar too much, because they don't really like that. It's something of the past. They've got past that now, and they're trying to build a really nice and modern city with no crime, and just somewhere that everyone can be accepted to come. Also, make sure you have cash for the taxis, as they accept cash only. Same thing with the buses and stuff. But there is Uber here. It's used a little bit. There's another app that you can get transportation through. I don't know the name of it. I think it's called maybe Diddy or something, but that takes cards, so you can definitely do it that way when you're here and you want to get around safely. Also, the locals here in Medellin are very fit and up to their, they like to keep pretty healthy. So if you're coming here and you plan on working out, there's plenty of places to work out. You'll see gyms everywhere. You'll see people just working out, running and walking on the street, riding bicycles. So it's definitely a good city if you are athletic, and there are plenty of healthy food options to fill your cravings after a good workout. Also, if you're coming from any country that uses US dollars, like the US, don't expect to be able to use it here, because most places will not accept it. Actually, I don't think any places will, and it's very hard to get US dollars here or even exchange for it. The only place I've seen so far is you can exchange at Western Union. So make sure you have a debit card or something that you can withdraw cash from. That's the best way. And one last quick thing before we go is, it's kind of dark here now. By 6 p.m. it gets dark here. This is the country and a city where they call it eternal spring, so the weather feels like spring year round. Doesn't really get above 80 right now in the middle of August, but it does rain a lot. It rains almost every day for a little bit, so be prepared, bring good clothing and everything, and just know it gets dark early, so get your stuff done during the light time, during the daylight, I guess you would say. One last thing before we go. If you come here to Medellin, and probably Bogota too, or any of the other big cities, you can get street food for pretty cheap. A couple dollars, you can find street food. But if you want a nice meal at a restaurant, it shouldn't cost you more than $5 to $10 on average. That's with the drink included. So you can eat very cheap, but we are eating inside tonight because we bought food from the grocery store, just to have something a little different. And Colombian food's pretty heavy, so you have to be prepared for that. But that's gonna be it for this little video.